Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
I knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to West Coast Sim Racing. Tonight, we're coming to you live from the fast and floating Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, one of North America's most challenging and historic road circuits. Tonight's action features the ultra-competitive GR86 Cup, where momentum is everything and precision is the difference between glory and gravel. With high-speed corners like Turn 2 and the legendary Moss Corner waiting to punish every little mistake, drivers will need absolute commitment and confidence to stay in the fight. Expect battles, expect plenty of drafting down the Andretti Straight in a race that will reward bravery, consistency, and a small bit of racecraft. Margins are razor thin, the stakes are high, and the racing promises to be spectacular. Strap in, the lights are about to go out for the GR86 Cup at CTMP, here for West Coast Sim Racing, brought to you by V-Speed. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. This is the West Coast Racing Sim Racing League, and we run every single Monday night. This race brought to you by Apex Motor Club. Go ahead and check out Apex Motor Club for all of your club needs. This is going to be round 3 of the 12-round championship, headed to CTMP, Phillip Island, Road America, Road Atlanta, Indy, Mid-Ohio, OKL, Brands Hatch, Stotson Ring, and then the Charlotte Roval to round it out in May. The championship points are getting closer than ever with the drop round applied. Jeremy Fletcher and Brandon Birch are tied for 25 points. Stone Colby, Warren Johnson, Slater Colby, Connor T. Cunningham, Kyle Gilmark, Edwin Onofre, Sean Stam, the Stam Man, Aliski Andreu round out your top 10. Colton Juarez, Joe Rainey, Taylor Thompson, Christian James, Igor Razigov, Robert Nishnik, Michael Chanagretta, Adrian Gutierrez, Darren Colby, and Nico Colby will round out the 20 in the top 20. Very tight in the points with this drop round, spicing things up. Let's take a look at the track guide that we have here for CTMP. Track length of 2.45 miles. It was founded in 1961, unchanged since its creation. 10 corners in total, 7 to the right, 3 to the left. Elevation change of around 125 feet, and we are located in Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada. CTMP hosted the first ever Canadian Formula One Grand Prix in 1967, making a historic venue in Canadian motorsport. Let's go ahead and pop trackside and see what the drivers are all up to. So far, it's Jeremy Fletcher topping the charge. Nico Stone Colby, Slater Colby in that Colby train for 2, 3, and 4. And I would be remiss if we didn't give a big shout out to Grandpa Jeff Colby. It's his birthday today, and he passed not too long ago. So big shout out, and tonight's race is going to be going to Grandpa Colby tonight. So Nico Colby, Stone Colby, and Slater have some work to do Grandpa Colby proud tonight and throw elbows with a man named Jeremy Fletcher, who's coming off of a win in his own series in the real-life GR86 Cup Series at Arlington, taking away a victory there at Heat 2. Go on board with Nico and see what it's like to do a lap around CTMP. With just 2:55 remaining in the session, he's got to get the hurry up and go sooner rather than later. Tentative on throttle, very careful on that application. Coming through the final corner now, it's flat out, and you gotta push hard, stern and fast coming through the first corner. And then turn 2 is all about commitment and momentum. You don't want to lose any of it, but you gotta make sure that you're there with the speed and be able to just push down in towards the tarmac. Here's the tricky part, turn 3. You want to follow the repaved road that they have here. It's a little dark patch in the road, and that's where the apex really lies, because that's where the prototypes have really chewed up the tarmac a bunch over the years. Now catching up to traffic. Will this help or will this hurt Nico Colby? A little bit of a draft from the JFR machine out in front. Hopefully this helps him out. Getting a little bit of a tow, but it might challenge him coming through the S's, turn 8, 9, and 10. Quick dive out of the way to prevent any damage with that dirty air. Now again coming through turn 9, careful on throttle, punching it through turn 10, getting on the loud pedal, traffic dives out of the way. That's the 427. Will that be enough for Nico Colby at the end of the day? Oh, he's just a 10th off the mark. Oh my goodness, it couldn't be closer margins at the end of the day. Stone running in P3, Marvin Samayoa running in P4, Slater bumped back to P5, Joe Rainey in 6, Lucas Barnett in 7th, Brandon Birch in 8th, with Edwin Onofre in 9th, and Aliski Andreu rounding out your top 10 right now. And Birch heads back to the pits. A lot of drivers resting in pit lane as the session is concluding. And a couple more lap times trickle in, but no big shakers, no big movers at the end of the day, at the end of the line. let's take a look at what the race is going to offer us. It's going to be a 30-minute race rather than original 45. We have a pit road speed of 50 miles per hour. Tire sets are unlimited. We are going to have a controlled slowdown called by race control rather than having our normal competition caution. 100% race fuel and iRacing open setup, but if you need a setup, go ahead and reach out to someone in the Discord. They're more than happy to help you out. I'm your host tonight. On behalf of V-Speed, welcome and thank you very much for joining us tonight. Sagar Bakshi here on the microphone and pushing the buttons for you on the broadcast here from Canada. Now, CTMP is definitely, as the boys have a little bit of fun with each other, CTMP is definitely one of my favorite tracks on the planet. And that is saying something, up there with Mugello, in my opinion, as far as fast and flowy tracks. Because you just carry the momentum everywhere. Couple keys to the race here that the GR86 car is not about brute power. It's about corner speed and flow. Your drivers must maximize exit speed, such as out of turn 5 out of Moss Corner, coming down the Andretti straightaway, and turn 10 for the final run onto the front straightaway. So all of this means you're going to have to be a little bit braver than not through the high speed sections, like turns 2 and turn 8, that are very much commitment corners. Early lift is going to equal time loss. Overcommitment equals grass or the barrier. There's no compromise to be had. The fastest drivers will find the fine line between aggression and survival here at CTMP. Let's take a look at our grid and see what the results are for the qualifying. Jeremy Fletcher and Nico Colby were neck and neck. That'll line themselves up on the first row. On row number 2, it'll be Stone Colby and Marvin Semoyoa in P4. Slater Colby and Joe Rainey line the third row. Fourth row for Lucas Barnett and Brandon Birch. Fifth row belonging to Edwin Onofre and Aliski Andreu. Sixth row for Connor T. Cunningham and Taylor Thompson. Seventh for Colton Juarez and Warren Johnson. Eighth belonged to Darren Colby and Christian James. And that will round out, Sean Stam, the Stam Man, in 17th with Michael Tranagretta in 18th. 19th and 20th for Jason Holcomb and Miles Guerrero. 21st and 22nd to Adrian Gutierrez and Jonathan Soda. Robert Nishnik rounding us out for the Camber and Caster team in P23. K-Bland says, shout out Bradley Cooper and Jeff Wright. Also Billy Telgunhoff, please. Forgive him. All right. For K-Blend TV. I'll let them know. Thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell. Really helps us out and grow this wonderful community. If you like what you see and want to get involved, make sure you check out West Coast Sim Racing. We have an amazing registration of drivers lining this grid, from professional GR86 to Mazda MX-5 champions even. So again, if this tickles your fancy, if you'd like to get involved, make sure you go ahead and do so. Get yourself installed in your sim rig on Mondays and Thursday nights and find yourself with West Coast Sim Racing for some amazing race action. Lining up 2x2, coming through turn 9. When we come through turn 10, we'll be ready to rumble, folks. Fletcher controls the field. It'll be nice and tight on the race start, but Colby is a little far back, and it's green. And Fletcher's going to be able to cover off Nico Colby, who's going to fall back to Slater Colby, or excuse me, Stone Colby on the start. Marvin Samayoa and Slater Colby going wheel to wheel now. In the background for 4th and 5th position. Stone Colby, though, still challenging for not letting Jeremy Fletcher go at all. Right on the rear bumper of Jeremy Fletcher, who took that GR86 win during race 2 at Arlington, now showing his stripes and why he deserves to be champion this season in that same championship. Fletcher, Colby in the Colby train. Then Marvin Samayoa boxing them out. Now drivers moving and weaving their way into the final 8 and 9 complex before we get down towards corner number 10. Now Stone Colby still has an opportunity. Who's that peeking their nose out? Trying to look for an eager opportunity. I couldn't tell. Was that Joe Rainey in the background potentially? Well, he's a little too far back to be making any peeks this time around, but you can try there, Joe. You can try as you might. Looking up ahead, it's still glued nose to tail right now between Stone Colby and Jeremy Fletcher. Into the beginning stages of this race, folks, and we have a very spicy battle for the lead. All drivers have settled into a single file formation now, and it's basically about 2 seconds separating the top 4. Again, drivers weaving on entry to 8. I'm not sure how sustainable that strategy is going to be. A little bit deep and wide for the 52 leaves in compromise to the number 16 behind. But the 16 doesn't have enough leg to act on it just yet. Non-stoppers asking, can we get some more Onofre and Fletcher action? Absolutely. Check out the battle between Onofre right now. Onofre running in P9 for the 199 right now. About 2/10 back from Lucas up in front of him. Got to check in with the lead battle. I apologize because it's down to nothing again on the entry to Moss, but on exit, it looks like Fletcher has it as Colby loses a little bit of ground with a slip and slide moment on exit of Moss. Bump drafting galore between the trio. Trying to look around the outside is the 52 of Stone Colby. Again, no daylight existed there, so nothing doing on this occasion. Checking in with Lucas Barnett in that 8th position, but he's driving the number 12. Battling with the JFR machine of Brandon Birch, driving the number 36, who's coming off a victory of his own right. Edwin Onofre in the background, challenging deeper into the top 10. Looks like we have lost Joe Rainey. Let's see if we can get a replay of what happened here. Rainey sits behind the 25. Everything's looking good until it seemingly won't. On entry, runs into the back of the 25, who's able to recover. And unfortunately, the 17 was unable to do the same. Driver is able to get around Sean Stam, the Stam man, relatively easily there. And falls back to P15, but this is still a battle brewing between Christian James, Joe Rainey, and the Stam man. Round the outside, trying to make it work at turn 3 is Rainey, but there's no doing, unfortunately. Falls back in single file. Moss might be the next best opportunity as he gets a wheel well along the inside line. Now goes deep and wide. Gotta keep on trying here. Switchback engaged for the 17, and a beautiful maneuver from Rainey. Picture perfect maneuver and able to continue to hold on there. Checking in with Slater Colby and Marvin Samayoa. And don't worry, I'm not keeping both eyes on this battle as I keep one eye on the Jeremy Fletcher Stone Colby battle up in the lead. Tenegretta battling with Miles Guerrero out in front, and a touch to the rear end will spin Guerrero and send him round, and the 845 continues on driving. Now that'll be Robert Nishnik, who started at the back of the pack for the Camber and Caster team, now running in P18. Positions coming his way through attrition, it would seem. Looking back at the other battle that's brewing on track, Edwin Onofre battling for deeper than 10th, that's for sure. Those teeth are menacing. We saw them open their jaws there on the Bathurst Mountain. Will they open again here in Canada? I know that Birch wants to chop forward and get some positions made sooner rather than later as well. We'll check in with the battle for the lead as Fletcher leads Stone and Nico. Finding clean air on corner entry as Fletcher continues to defend hard. Again, a move to the outside line. This is going to be Stone Colby trying to go for the send, but he just can't make that one stick, unfortunately. Again, bump draft to Given from the Colby train. Trying to assist in any way possible to get around Jeremy Fletcher, but it might be in too deep at turn 8. '22 leads the 52 over the 16. Position change in the background of Taylor Thompson and Lucas Barnett going toe-to-toe through turn 2. Advantage over the 13 for now. This is the closest the battle for the lead has been in a long time. The inside line is open for the 52, but he seemingly backs out of it. Doesn't want to go wheel to wheel with Jeremy Fletcher this early and risk his race. All this battling brings up Slater Colby into the mix as well. Side by side in the fastest part of the track, coming through turn 8 now. Follow through looks good for the 52 on the 22. We just can't quite connect the dots, unfortunately. Whoa, there's a big off. I think that's Marvin Semiola. No, that's Lucas Barnett who went off in that gray machine. And they're luckily able to recover that GR86 after doing quite a bit of lawn mowing in this Toyota. Back up for the battle for the lead. Question is when is this slowdown going to occur? Because Fletcher and Colby don't seemingly want to slow down anytime soon. And it looks like Nico's trying to decide which way to go. Falls in single file line just like Stone up ahead. Oh no, and there's an off for Stone. He's able to recover, stay out on the racetrack. But you can tell the Apex Motor Club machine is pushing very hard right now. Could it be their night to take home a victory? It would be a maiden one for any of the Colbys. Whoa, no, big spin. That's Slater Colby going around. And let's get a replay of what happened here. And it all happened coming up the hill into Moss. Oh, and just got bumped in the rump there, and that will send him around and end his charge. And it looks like we did go and receive that restart from race control while we were reviewing that. So perfect timing for Slater. He's able to recover, cool down his tires, and take to this restart in P4. Perfect timing for the 25. Although I'm sure he wished it happened under different circumstances. But the Apex machines line up on the outside run down towards turn 2. And we're green here at CTMP for the second time of running. And it looks like another great start for Jeremy Fletcher, forcing the Colbys to go side by side through the first corner and in towards turn number 2. Will it be Stone in front of Nico? It will be. Further back, Brandon Birch was able to get by Marvin Semiola on that restart and is looking to look pretty right now. And the 12 of Lucas Barnett charges forward, but a change here as Nico goes through on Stone. Now Stone back through on Nico. Don't want to continue that bout for too long, otherwise we'll lose touch with Jeremy Fletcher out in front. Battles front, battles rear, battles in the middle. Battles are galore here with West Coast Sim Racing, folks. Almost 3 wide, 2 by 2 does not go into 1 as the 11 of Adrian Gutierrez does not get the best of that situation. Battle between Lucas Barnett and Taylor Thompson hasn't settled down until it does. End in tears, and that will be a huge incident for the stewards to review. And Holy Toledo's are out, and the leaders have broken away from this huge back battle. Again, the outside line not working out for Stone. He has to push the inside line on Jeremy Fletcher coming through Moss. Pushing right up against the door of Jeremy Fletcher now, demanding a little bit of racing breath there. Entry to turn 8 looks good, but again a little deep now. Can't get a crossover engaged on the 22. Too much real estate has been taken there, but maybe one into 10. A little bump from Nico in the rear end coming out of 10 might help him out. Now it'll be a drag race coming through the first quarter. Now Slater's here in the mix, ready to party as well as Stone falls back. Jeremy Fletcher up the road by half a second now. Taking a look at Sean Stamm and his battle. here for P19 has Colton Juarez out in front, and they're able to get by Robert Nishnik there, the Camber and Caster machine, pretty easily. Connor T. Cunningham running in the back of the pack here, but running in the top 10 still. Check in with Connor Cunningham here in his battle for that 9th spot. Has Edwin Onofre up ahead of him, who's looking for a move on Joe Rainey right up ahead. Here's Thompson now. Battling with Tana Greta and Andreu behind. Driving the banana boat number 19 is Aliski Andreu. In the Castrol machine is going to be Taylor Thompson. Squeezed in the middle now, coming through turn 8. Risky maneuver, but could be successful there for the number 13 Apex Motor Club machine. But the crossover couldn't quite get that one to stick. Not until the exit of turn 10, and that's where the move can be done. Again, Connor Cunningham trying to put the work on his opponent out in front, Marvin Semayoa. Hat back, relaxed. Connor Cunningham is in cruise control down the Andretti straightaway now, sitting behind Marvin Semayoa. Now with just 6.5 minutes remaining, when does he plan his attack, or can he even plan his attack on the car who's a little bit faster than him during the qualifying session, but seemingly falling off the pace during the race heat? And there is the banana boat up ahead, losing ground of Joe Rainey to Edwin Onofre. And Rainey defends from the 199 behind. And Semayoa loses Connor T. Cunningham for just a blink of an eye now, leaving these three to continue their bout. Up ahead, you can see Jeremy Fletcher, Nico Colby, and Stone Colby all battling it out with Slater Colby in tow as well. What a night it would be if the Colby trio could do a lockout podium and dethrone Jeremy Fletcher here and now. Talk about a Cinderella story, as tonight honoring Grandpa Colby. Now the run down towards turn 2 here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, also known as Mosport, or just CTMP for short. We have icons and greats that have raced here like Jackie Stewart, Bruce McLaren, Mario Andretti, and Sterling Moss, for which corners and straightaways have been named after. They have all competed here at CTMP. It is a staple on the multi-class endurance racing calendar for IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car, and hosts historic events such as Can-Am and World Sports Car Championships. The track is owned by Canadian racing legend Ron Fellows, a multi-time Le Mans class winner and former NASCAR driver. Battle for the lead, though. Kind of running away with it. Jeremy Fletcher's best lap time, 129.1. Compared to Nico's 128.9, not a whole lot there. But when we're counting tenths and thousandths of a second, they all matter. Lead battle here as Fletcher backs out, loses the lead to Nico Colby. Immediately snatches it back coming through turn 9 and charges through 10 hard and fast. Back into the lead goes Jeremy Fletcher. This one plus one more forces a side-by-side between Stone and Nico. This is where the run matters most. Down into Moss. It belongs to the 52, who goes a little bit deep, mounts the curb, tries to get a switchback on the number 16 of Nico Colby, but it doesn't work out in his favor. He's going to fall back to third for now. 1 second the gap from first to third. .52 to the outside, 16 defends hard with a little bit of a slide at the apex. Jeremy Fletcher still in the lead on the final lap now. We go to the white flag lap. Greta and Jason Holcomb are going to go wheel to wheel in their battle for 20th and 21st as well. Back to the battle for the lead. Stone goes deep and off at turn 3, loses a position. Now to Brandon Birch, who's worked his way all the way up into P4 on this good. Quiet but deadly, getting his haul of points, Brandon Birch tonight. Still not over yet. The 52 trying to go around the 36, but it won't matter because it's all coming to an end. The 22 will take us to the checkered flag for the final time around CTMP. Jeremy Fletcher takes the win in Canada in front of Nico Colby, Slater Colby, Brandon Birch, and Stone Colby. Joe Rainey, Edwin Onofre, Samoa Cunningham, and Barnett round out your top 10. Let's get the results posted. It was Jeremy Fletcher, Nico Colby, then Stone Colby in the 1, 2, 3. Birch, then Colby, Rainey, Onofre, Samoa, Cunningham, Barnett. Round out your top 10. Thompson, Andreu, Stam, Johnson, Nishnik, James, Gutierrez, Colby, Juarez, Tanagretta round out the 20. Down to Holcomb, Guerrero, and Soda bring down all of our participants for the evening. Stand by, folks, as we get drivers ready for their interviews here. They have to get their makeup done and walk their way up to the broadcast booth as well. So it takes them a little bit of time to come up here from the pit lane. And it looks like we are ready for our interviews. Let's go ahead and grab our race winner first and foremost. It'll be Jeremy Fletcher that we need to talk to first. Let's talk to our winner, Jeremy Fletcher now. Jeremy, that was quite the race you had tonight. Stand by 1 second.
Oh, okay. I think it works now.
We got you now.
Yep.
Jeremy Fletcher, what an amazing race that you had. Started in first, ended up finishing in first. Wasn't the way that it happened down in Arlington, but it's the way it happened here in Canada. Now, talk to us about your race a little bit. You controlled the field again.
Yeah, so definitely wanted to be out front. You know, the good qualifying. I think we ended up leading every lap that race. So just being in front, you can control everything that happens. So I know Stone, Nico, Slater, they were getting a little bit annoyed behind me. But in the end, it's either get trained by 4 cars or arc it up and hope for the best. Kind of what happened there at the end, where you can build yourself a bit of a bubble and hit your marks, stay out front, and do your thing, and hopefully come away with the win.
Now I got to ask the loaded question, Jeremy. What is your kryptonite? What does it take to get around you? Because we saw Slater throw elbows, we saw Stone throw elbows, I don't know which one of the Colbys didn't try to get around you at some point in time, but to no avail. What does it take, especially at a track like CTMP?
Yeah, I mean, I coach them in real life, so I know quite a bit of their moves, I guess, racecraft wise. But I think I went undefeated last season. This year, I think definitely pushing these guys to be faster pace wise, and they're all getting better every weekend and week out. So I think they're closing that gap that I initially had. So like you seen at Bathurst, I got shuffled a little bit and then ended up getting taken out. But
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, these guys everybody in here progresses every week, and the racing just progressively gets better.
And I think that's what you love to see no matter what in any community league is just everybody is progressively getting a little bit better week by week. And the racecraft will also follow suit in that sense. And you can tell by the way that you guys were pushing each other around, this wasn't your first rodeo.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even Warren, for instance, he's been on the podium at the box at Bathurst. He's competing for podiums in other big leagues. Jason was running really high this race, and yeah, I mean the Colbys have always, I guess, been at the front of this train, but it's definitely everyone's progressing. The pace is picking up, and it's just so nice to be able to come in here, especially after the weekend I had in real life, ended up winning in real life in this car, and then being able to hop on the sim the day after and do the same thing.
That's got to be an amazing feat to be able to do that, to travel around the United States and be able to compete in this car, not only in the sim, but also in real life. Jeremy Fletcher, thank you very much. It's an honor to be able to talk to you, and hopefully we'll talk again to you soon. But do you have anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, all the friends and family watching, the Colby family and vehicle buyers for, getting me out here. Joey Rainey and the RaineyHomes.com business. Brandon Birch for always giving me a good shove when the Colby trio wants to try and push me out of the way. And yeah, everybody else that puts this on, you for announcing, Warren for the league, and everybody that came out and showed up.
For sure. Big shout out to everybody that showed up week after week. Really appreciate it, Jeremy Fletcher. Have a good night and enjoy your champagne, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I think we have coming up into the booth next is going to be Nico Colby, who took home P2. Nico, hard fought battle for a long bit of that race. You sat behind in P3 for a majority of it, but you came out with a good position.
Yep, definitely just a fun race overall.
Now, how was it pushing around the likes of the 52 Stone Colby all night long? Were you trying to go for a move? Were you working together? What was the strategy there?
For the first bit of the race, just trying to work together, try to maybe get around Fletcher, but just not able to get a good enough run. But by the end, I was going to get past them, and it just worked and happened and got past them.
Yeah, it was a definite expression of patience being a virtue there, where you didn't go for an early opportunity that presented itself. You waited for a late stage, high percentage overtake, and it did end up going your way. Not without trying in the early stages, but I think this ended up working out in your favor at the end of the day.
Yes, for sure. Just everything kind of put in place, and I just got into that P2 spot, tried to catch Jeremy down the straight, but it just wasn't enough.
Right on, Nico. Anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
You always for the broadcast. Shout out Warren for the league. Shout out Jeremy for always helping us and just helping us get faster. Everyone that races, mom, dad, and just everyone that makes it fun.
For sure. Good shout outs. Thank you very much, Nico. Really appreciate you. Have a good night and stay safe as always.
You too. Thank you.
And shuffling down the order, we'll talk to Slater Colby. Now, Slater, you were a little further back than I think you'd like, driving that Apex Motorsports number 25, but it all ended up working out at the end of the day. Now, how did you find P3?
Yeah, it was fun. I was kind of I had to get through the pack a little bit in the beginning, starting P5, so I had to kind of get my way up there, and then caught the pack, and then kind of just try to see if anything would just fall into place. I mean, we were all kind of battling pretty heavy up front, especially Stone, Nico, and Jeremy. So for a little bit, I was kind of waiting for a mistake, seeing if something was going to happen, and then capitalize on it. But I mean, us four and Birch and Joe and a lot of people in the field. It's just when we're working like that, it's kind of hard to have a mistake. Everyone's a really good driver, so once I kind of realized that, I was like, oh, I got to start sticking my nose in places. So that's what I was doing, and then Stone was doing a really good race, and then went off in turn 3 coming on the exit, and that was my shot right there. So I was gonna stay close to his bumper anyways, going down the straight, and hopefully get a run on him. But yeah, it's kind of just studying the guys, seeing where they're a little bit faster, and then yeah, it was fun.
Studying the guys and figuring out where they're a little bit slower. A little bit easier said than done, especially when you're trying to do the calculation at 200 miles an hour coming down the Andretti straightaway. Man, oh man, what an exciting race. It provides week after week. Do you think it comes down to the nature of the group of individuals that are driving, or just this being a good class of cars to pick up and drive?
Honestly, I think this is a really good car to drive and even get used to when you first get on the sim. I have the sequential shifter and a circle wheel, so it's very like how it is in real life. And,
That's cool.
So it's definitely fun. Obviously, the drivers up front, they all have a lot of experience, including myself, and so we can definitely dice it out a little bit more aggressive and get away with things. But yeah, I mean, everyone's getting progressively better week in, week out, especially the guys up front and all the way through the field. But yeah, it just makes for better racing every single Monday. So I'm pretty pumped about this season because everyone's getting faster. We got some new names in here that are fast too, so it makes it fun.
Yeah, I couldn't agree anymore. The drivers are getting better every single week. The racing gets better every single week. And I'm absolutely here for it. Anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank, Slater?
Vehicle buyers, Overstock Vehicles, you for broadcasting, Warren for putting on a good league. Shout out Warren for kind of postponing the race a little bit tonight for us Colby family. We had something going on. So shout out to him for that, Owen for that one. And JFR Racing, Jeremy for always, helping us on and off the track. He's been a big part of our Colby program in real life and in the sim. So shout out to him, and yeah, friends and family at home watching as well.
Right on. Thank you very much, Slater. Have a great night. And as always, stay safe out there.
You too. Thank you.
And last but not least, we'll check in with Warren Johnson. Mr. Johnson, how goes it tonight?
It could have been better for me, but I think the majority of everyone else had a pretty good night. Yeah, it's a fun track, fun car. I think they updated the car. I'm sure they talked about it already. But they updated the car a little bit. Sounds a little different. Handles, I think they maybe tweaked some handling or balance or something. But it feels good. It was a pretty good race.
Yeah, it was a great, entertaining race. Battles up, down, in the middle, everywhere that you would expect them to be brewing. Of course, the Colby train existed. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight. I hope you did as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did. I want to apologize to Darren on the start. I spun him. Totally my fault. Yeah, it was a close. I think it was more of an iRacing physics thing because that kind of contact wouldn't have spun him in real life. Anything? Yeah, I mean, I don't know who else I got into. I don't think I got into anyone else, but it was an interesting race. Not the best race I've had at CTMP. Usually that's a lot of fun. Tonight was just not my night, but that's okay. And we'll get him on the next one.
Absolutely. You can't win them all. You came into the championship, I think 4th in the championship, but you still have a drop round to be applied. You could always use this one as a drop round and take in the points from rounds 1 and 2.
That's right. Yeah, so the points reflect that drop. So every week it'll just recalculate the drop week for everybody. So the points kind of will drastically change in the first few weeks, you'll see. And it'll even out and get to more realistic probably halfway through. So
Well, the championship still
lookout for
stays
that.
tight either way.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. There's like 5 or 6 drivers that can be on the podium, maybe even more. Anyone in the top 10, honestly. So
Yeah.
it's anyone's championship, man.
Yes, sir. It's still anybody's ball game. Well, Jeremy Fletcher could be running away with it here shortly. Now,
Yeah, that guy is fast.
yeah. Now, Warren, any announcements for the West Coast Sim Racing League?
Nothing new, nothing crazy. Just apologies for the late start tonight. Wanted to help out the Colby family as they were remembering their late grandfather. He's a great guy, and condolences to them for losing him. But I hope they had a good celebration for him tonight, and remembering the life that he had. And but everyone else, yeah, it was a good little quick race. 30 minutes, a little short and sweet. We'll be looking forward to next Monday. I think. Let's see where we're at on Monday. Let me pull up that schedule. I should know it, right?
Phillip Island?
Sadly, I don't. We got Phillip Island. Oh man, that is consistently the best race every year. So look forward to that track.
Yeah.
It's action-packed track. Always is. Always will be. So we're looking forward to that one. And this Thursday, we're going to be at Watkins Glen in the Porsche Cup. Another great track. So this is a great week for racing, for West Coast Sim Racing. I'm going to get down to that incident review channel. Sagar, it was great talking to you. And I will see you on Thursday, brother.
See you in a few days. Thank you very much, Warren. That's going to close things out from our fearless leader and commandant, Warren Johnson. So no new announcements to be made for the championship, folks. That'll finish things out for us here on behalf of V-Speed and West Coast Sim Racing. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Again, on behalf of V-Speed, I've been Sagar Bakshi, joining you all tonight from Canada. It's been a pleasure here from CTMP. Join us next week at Phillip Island, and in a few days' time, Thursday, same time, same place at Watkins Glen for the Porsche Cup. Have a great night, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Bye-bye for now.